Hi, this is your boy Terry. My username across the internet is Surpassinggoogle and I am a legitimate illiterate. And in this video I'm going to be explaining a verse from the curriculum of legitimate illiteracy. If you do not know what legitimate illiteracy is, I apologize for the noise. There is going to be external noises here, but the essence of this video is that you pay attention to me. In the face of discomfort, use that as an avenue to evolve in your human, to dig, to listen to the underlying context of my words, to listen to my undertone. Where you need further explanation, you can contact me. Avenues to contact me is underneath this video and I'll explain further. For now, we'll keep this video short. I'm going to be explaining a verse from legitimate illiteracy. Legitimate illiteracy altogether is what I call content derived from the no books. By no books, I refer to NO-BOOKS. I feel that the books have been written, many of the books have been written, and many of the books are attaining a completion. What is missing for knowledge to attain a balance or become whole is knowledge derived from the no books. And this is what I'm trying to reveal. This is just a small introduction to what legitimate illiteracy is about. For further clarity on that, I have a trailer video on this channel that you can go on to that tells you what legitimate illiteracy is. Anyway, let's get onto the verse. I'm going to read it so that I don't miss any aspect of it. Then I'll be explaining it within this video. So it's very simple. It's quite rhetorical, but it's a verse. And it says, let's just wait for that airplane. Okay, it says, where each gene is unique, where each human is defined, how can masses be so alike, captured into one cycle? I mean, even one stone will struggle to kill two birds. Let's start from the latter part. There's a popular sentence, in today's world that says, I will kill two birds with one stone. I had to bring this sentence up to create, to enable understanding for you who is listening. So let's start from there. It's a popular sentence. It says, kill two birds with one stone. Now, the latter part of this verse is saying that even one stone will struggle to kill two birds. Now, how is it possible that masses of humans are so alike? How is it possible that entire masses of humans are captured into a cycle? Is this even a possibility where each gene is unique, where each human is defined? The answer is no. But the truth is, or the irony is, many times we are not defined. We're not objects of our definition. Our genes turn out ununique, and I'll explain that. These are not extreme sentences. These are very simple sentences that are obtainable when you look intently at the true state of the world. And I'll expatiate of this so that your mind's eye can see more things. The next time you take a walk and look into the true state of the world, you will see many more things. It is obvious that a cycle exists. I call it a cycle of hand-to-mouthism and half-humanism, which I'll explain in another video. But it's self-explanatory. Half-humanism is where humans are not fully evolved. They think they are small gods and have attained full-blown humanhood, but in reality have only reached half humanhood. Now, hand-to-mouthism is hand-to-mouthism, where the end is perhaps to climb a career ladder, to chase paper or money in a bid solely to feed the mouth, in a loop, in a cycle. This is a cycle that exists, and it has managed to capture the entire world. That's what the world has become about. By world standards, the popular term is rat race. That forms another irony. How can humans, if we're full-blown humans, embark on a rat race? Further adds tangibility to the sentence that we are very likely half humans, because in reality, where we are defined, where our genes have attained uniqueness, how can we be in a rat race? The world is about pursuing new highs, but pursuing these new highs in a rat race. And that's the irony that has captured the world and is on replay ever constantly, an unbroken cycle, and it does exist. Curriculums of the world are just posed for that cycle to remain intact. What do you do in your school? You do not mine of your human. The curriculums aren't posed for you to evolve your human aspects. Look at things like human virtues. Your senses, your 5 senses, how much of these things do we explore? Do we exercise? Where each human activity is supposed to form an avenue to exert of your 5 senses, to explore and exert your human virtues. We look for the next easier solution. Where there's a measure of discomfort, we look for a marketed product, which in some cases form a vice, and the vice becomes an ongoing affair. A marketed product like beer, like the cigarette, like a means to pursue happiness and run away from discomfort. Now, discomfort is labeled as discomfort, as sadness, as negative, when in reality these things are translatable into invention, into motivation, into aspirations, into improvisation, aspects of the human that, when mineable, is of utmost value, returns value to humans. Now, because of this cycle, all value is removed from human and given to things like money, inanimate things like crypto kitties, like fictional characters like Superman, talent, and these things become God and the sought after, the pursued, while humans lose value over the course of time. And this is the cycle that permeates in the world and has captured the world. Now, if it is established that this cycle does exist, then what is needed to break out of this cycle? And it's very simple. The answers are just before you in the down-to-earth spaces of Mama Earth. And what's in the down-to-earth spaces of Mama Earth? The dirt, the discomfort, the hustle. These things are painted as black or bad in today's world. But for breakthrough in human, we need gray, neither black nor white, a balance. So even when it comes to information, the information substantial for breakthrough in human has to be balanced. A mix of the outer space knowledge contained in the books and the knowledge contained in the notebooks derived from the down-to-earth spaces of Mama Earth. But the issue is, who will reveal the knowledge from the down-to-earth when these are very hard routes to take? Hard routes, but testimonial hard routes. We shy away from the nooks and crannies of Earth, the places that aren't the skyscrapers, that aren't the luxury places. And we become ashamed of these stories and histories that make up these places and conform to the world standard of what is success and all that. But who is going to reveal the knowledge of legitimate literacy? That's what I'm doing. That's my role and purpose in this world. And I'm not just saying this with my own insight. I did suffering in stages, but I had the gift to translate sufferings. In the midst of suffering, I was able to exercise my human virtues and evolve, tap into my shine. And then insight began to arrive, insight called legitimate literacy. And I say it's insight from above. It came about in stages till I was able to pen down the entire curriculum. Now, as a result, I've lost health. I'm here as a sick person, very unfit. But that's the beauty of all this, that I'm attaining my purpose in the revelation of this knowledge. And this knowledge is very paramount for breakthrough in humans. The knowledge in the book is mostly outer space knowledge. It is fit for bots. It is fit for so-called human clones. But for humans, knowledge that is required for their breakthrough is found in the down-to-earth spaces of Mama Earth. These are some of the spiritual knowledge, as well as the utmost manual for humans, which is the Bible. But now we're focusing on the earth. Anyway, so let's go back. Let's further explain. So I said where each gene is unique, where each human is defined. What this establishes is perhaps our genes need a measure of stubbornness, because this world's influence is very strong. The world influence is not only as a result of earthly creatures, it's also as a result of spiritual creatures. This is established, it is a fact. Those supernatural powers that shape the earth, but today, the earth of today, they exist, but we won't go into all that. This is just food for thought to, expand the vision of your mind's eye. Now, basically, it's established there are going to be mountains of odds, entire nations posed, deterring you from finding yourself, from defining yourself, from attaining the uniqueness of your genes. You will need stubborn genes. Because in the face of all these odds, you will need to be deeply rooted in your conviction about your evolution. So you will need stubborn genes. Another thing you will need is to shed some of the nations. So you have to look at nations as merely locations so that it loses its say on you. And you're further empowered to attain full-blown humanhood without being curved by perceptions that by world standards are correct. So that's another thing you need. There are many things you need, but I'm not going to mention everything here because it's getting dark. I'm opening this to further explanation. When you contact me, I will really care about you. I will talk to you and understudy who you are as a person, and then give you feedback based on legitimate literacy that is just fitting for your situation. So please feel free to contact me. So there are many things you will need. It's going to be a hard route to take if you are going to evolve. Because the easy route to take is to forget your sorrows. And forgetting your sorrows favors the few in power. I don't know what they're called, but maybe they're called elites, that have monopolized knowledge and made it complex so that knowledge is not obtainable by anyone. But not to worry, the revelation of legitimate literacy will put knowledge in the hands of anyone, empowering each one, alike to evolve. So, establishing that it's a hard route to take, you will need stubborn genes. You will need to be deeply rooted in your conviction about taking this route so that, mountains of odds becoming surmountable. And then you'll have me as your boy Terry, a true fan on this journey. Yes, so let's read this verse again, and you will, perhaps this time after my explanation, you will see the irony, and then you will laugh at it and want to break out of the cycle. Very simple, where each gene is unique. This is more rhetorical. You can ask yourself, where your gene is unique, where you are defined in your human. How can you, in the same manner as masses around the globe, be so alike to one cycle? Did you know that there are entire nations where the writing, even down to their handwriting, is alike? Baffling, not so? When I was young, they used to scold me, even, beat me for, no, not beat me. They used to beat some of us, the kids. I had a very good writing, but when your writing was not bad, they will spank you so that your writing becomes good. Yet, with all the spanking, it just isn't possible for your writing to be good. Genes. But the world has become so influenced that there are entire nations where the writing is the same. Let's wait for that airplane to pass. Isn't that so baffling? Isn't that so bewildering? Isn't that so telling of the influence that the world has been able to garner on fellow humans? The world knows you more than you know yourself, so they know how to play their cards. The likes of Google, Facebook, they put cookies in your browser, which isn't bad. But basically what they do is get to know you more than you know yourself. Get to know more of you than you will ever get to know about them. And there is inequality in knowledge. Now, because they have more information about you than you have about them, they can analyze you. They can become the standard. They can measure you. They can label you. But you don't have equality in your access to knowledge about them to where you can do the same, hold them accountable for their actions. Then they become the standard. This thing is as difficult as 1, 2, 3. It's just about looking at the world more intently, and not just looking, applying yourself to seeing. And when you have seen many things become ordinary. Many things are hyped in the world of today, hyped for the sole purpose of making these things the sought after, while humans lose value, begin to sought after these things. So yes, there's so much irony and in the world of today, and that is the irony that does control the world. It's a cycle, and breaking from that cycle is powerful stuff. But we're en route to doing just that. Just apply yourself, open your perception to legitimate literacy as well, and that will empower you. With this knowledge, you'll be able to see the world in its truer state, and this will enable you find your place in it. And finding your place in it is very powerful stuff. But it all starts with knowing what the true state of the world is. Yes, so let's see. I think I've covered it already. So yes, so give room to evolution. Where you evolved, every human was made in the image of the Creator. His name is Jehovah, the Supreme Being, and He made us with brains powerful than supercomputers, unique genes, to have in subjection the fishes of the sea, the flying creatures of the heaven, almost every earthly creation. And that's very powerful stuff. So we had this innate to us in the beginning. As children, we have all these things before this thing snapped out of us as the curriculums of the world start to play out. You see children, they're intact in their sense of justice, their curiosity, their love. But the moment they start to go into school, curriculums of the world are posed for you to seek other things, talent, excellence. But how about untalent? You know, if you put a dis, D-I-S, in the middle of un and talented, you have undis-talented. This tracks the un. That is still talent. These things aren't celebrated, but these things are things of human, which should be celebrated, not labeled as things of nonsense. And where these things are labeled nonsense, if you sift of the word nonsense, you will find sense therein. Or at least you will find testimonial use for good. You know, many things are labeled poop. Many things, excerpts of humans are labeled scam. Spam, I mean. But even where there is spam, you see passion. You know, so, I mean, so let's take a look again at the true state of the world, identify our place in the world, given for evolution, you know, so that we attain full-blown humanhood. When we attain full-blown humanhood, we tap into our shine, we are back towards the image of the Creator and out of this cycle. Because when you tap into your shine, you become a generation fixer. You become the dreamer, you become the referenced. You will think of generations yet born and bringing betterness to their lives. And these thoughts will propel you to, you know, greater heights. You will break out of the cycle of hand-to-mouthism and half-humanism. And that's very powerful, not only for you, but for the world at large. So, please mind of your human. You know, use this knowledge, legitimate literacy, to ponder, to wonder, with consistency, and mind of your human. Evolve back, or evolve into full-blown humanhood. And that's powerful. Your boy Terry, make sure to stay awesome.